Yo, what is the deal, everybody? What is the deal? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Salute to everybody who's pulling up on this sweltering hot day. I mean, my Lord, man, it is so damn hot out here. You know, on the East Coast, it is burning up. It's like 102 degrees. Well, it's kind of calming down now, but man, let me tell y'all something, bro. It's real out there. It's real in the field. Salute to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Yo, look, we're going to go through the Raiders news cycle today. We don't got a whole lot out there, you know, but you know, I feel like it's time for us to get wasted, right? There hasn't been a whole lot of news lately, right? We waiting for training camp. But, yo, shout out to my guy. Top Beats is in the place, man. The mod father extraordinaire is in the place. Where the F has he been? Where the F you been, Top Beats? Ain't seen you in a month of Sundays, my brother. My guy, Rudy the Vet Russo, is in the place. Hey, Rudy, listen, bro. You talk about you been working in it. Rudy, you know what I do for a living. You know I was working in it today, bro. Crazy, man. Crazy. We got almost 100 in the room. We do not cook unless there's 100 in the room. There's 91 of you guys in the room. The F are you guys waiting for? Share this thing out to all social media. Shout out to my guy, Matt Barraquah, man. Shout out to Raider Loso. Shout out to Alex Rebel Rojas. It's in the place. In the place. Oh, my God. We got 98 in the room. 98. There is no cooking until it's 100 in the room. What the F is wrong with you guys? All right, we just hit 100. My guy, CGR, is in the place, man. So, look, guys, you know, before I start, you know, Graf and I were talking about, you know, giving back to the members, doing more for the members. This is something that I've been really adamant about, right? And we talked about doing members only shows. He's been doing it lately. I haven't been on, and I'm gonna be real with you. You know what I'm saying? I have a members only show I'm gonna have set up, not tomorrow, because you know, I'm a dad brag real quick, if you guys will allow me. You know, my daughter will be graduating from high school tomorrow. She is the student class president, and she will be giving a huge speech at her graduation. So you know I got to be front row. So I'm going to dad brag real quick. But, yo, listen, what I need for you guys to do is, if you guys want to participate in some of this members only stuff, go on ahead, become a member of the channel. My brother, Top Beats, starting the party off. Starting the party off with 10 Raider Nation Unlimited slappies. Let me tell you something. You became, and shout out to Top Beats and whoever received the membership from my brother Top Beats. I want you guys to say thank you to the mod father extraordinaire. Shout out to my brother Graphic Raider in a place to be, man. Said nothing like drinking and watching my brother. Appreciate you, Graph. Appreciate you, bro. So look, we got over 100 in the room. It's time to get started, right? It's time to get started. Now, guys, you guys saw it on the thumbnail, and it's crazy, right? I normally don't get into these lists, all of the crap from the ride by, drive by media. But it's just funny to me because I'm thinking to myself, I say, hey, man, the one thing that is unanimous across the National Football League is that people know and understand that Maxx Crosby is one of the very best at his position. You know, I'm talking about, you know, top 3 and he's not 3. You know what I'm saying? You would think that people who watch football for a living, who get paid to write about football for a living, would know where to place the great and powerful Maxx Crosby. And guess what, guys? Not only do they not know what the hell they're talking about, but this is a guy who is supposed to know what he's talking about. And shout out to Mario Tarver for, writing this article over there on the Raider Ramble. Shout out to Mario. I know you probably out there watching, brother. Salute. But this was a list done by Pete Briscoe of CBS Sports. He ranked Maxx Crosby 28th overall in his recent top 100 players of the NFL. And in terms of defensive players, Crosby fell short of top 5. Ahead of him, and as far as his position, they have Trey Hendrickson, Aiden Hutchinson, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, and Myles Garrett over Maxx Crosby. Now, listen, Myles Garrett, a given. TJ Watt, maybe. Micah Parsons, maybe, but I doubt it, right? But Aiden Hutchinson and Trey Hendrickson is totally blasphemous, man. They said Maxx Crosby missed 5 games because of an injury. He only had 7.5 sacks last year after getting 14.5 a year before. And he remains a force on the edge when he's on the field. A healthy Maxx Crosby is defensive player of the year candidate. So he gave him his flowers, right? He said it's true. When Maxx Crosby is running on all cylinders, he is vying for defensive player of the year every year. And that's good. With Carroll overseeing the defense and Patrick Graham staying put as defensive coordinator, Crosby could end up to see a jump in his productivity. Now, see, this is the thing for me, right? Either which way, just from the body of work. Just from the body of work. And I understand his school of thought. I don't see how you put Aiden Hutchinson over Maxx Crosby. I really don't see it, bro. I don't see it. And most of these lists don't mean anything. Most of the time, your brother Wasted don't even get involved with this kind of stuff. It's very low vibrational. But guess what? I feel like debating. I feel like talking about what's going on in the National Football League. That's kind of peripheral stuff, right? Now, look, Maxx Crosby, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, I can't take nothing away from him. That guy's, you say Myles Garrett, Wasted has nothing to say. Shout out to my guy, the Raider neighbor, Franklin Skinner's in the place. But, I mean, what do you guys think, man? I mean, because to me, and like my man, the only OG said, there is not one of those guys that's as good against the run as Maxx is. Even with him missing time. There is not one. Listen, man, and I'm not on here to bloviate and blow smoke up everybody's ass and talk about, the greatness of Maxx Crosby. But listen, man. Listen, I look, there have been a lot of lists, right? This is one I can't get down with. Now, guys, also, there are a lot of reports coming out of the Raiders coaching staff headed into the year, right? And there's something that's quietly going around the National Football League. Quietly going around the National Football League. And there's a player that a lot of us have not really been tuned in on, that has been getting effusive praise from the Raiders brass, and that is DJ Glaze, man. DJ Glaze is getting a lot of love, man. Glaze heading into the second year. Pete Carroll and general manager John Spytek are both very, very high on the Maryland Terrapin. He's impressing yet another coaching staff, man. Yet another coaching staff. And I quote, saw a lot out of DJ Glaze. I thought he had a really good offseason with us. He looks ready to go, Carroll said of Glaze's performance in OTAs and mandatory minicamp earlier this month. He's a second-year guy, and guys go from year 1 to year 2, and they have the ability to make a big jump because they've been through the rookie haze already that he's shown. He looks great in the group. Look, Colton Miller even had a lot to say about DJ Glaze. DJ, when he stepped in here, first day of training camp, I noticed the maturity he brought. This is coming from Colton Miller, right? He goes, going on one-on-ones, taking what he learned from OTAs to training camp. He's done the same thing. The whole O-line has been here this offseason. It has been awesome. He's been continuing to improve, and I'm excited to see where he ends up, man. And look, guys, the one thing about the Raiders, and we're going to get into this, everybody in ESPN, I've been scouring the news wire to bring you guys a show, and ESPN is very high on the Raiders. They say that the Raiders made the biggest jump and the biggest ascension out of all the National Football League teams. But the one thing that's going to make that a reality is the offensive line. Now, look, with Jackson Powers Johnson, everybody understands what we're dealing with. But I think DJ Glaze is getting overshadowed a lot. I can't wait to really, really look and see what we got. Appreciate you guys for all the congratulations, man. Appreciate you guys for all the congratulations for my daughter, man. Because look, let me tell y'all something, man. It's if I can give anybody any, if I know there's some guys in here that are older than I am, that are beyond where I am in life, right? But all of the younger cats, it's a lot of guys, man, that I see here, and you know, they got young kids, babies, all that kind of stuff. What I will say to you is this: enjoy every effing moment, even when they get on your damn nerves, they making too much noise. Listen to me. Enjoy every freaking moment because it goes so damn fast, man. It really does, man. Shout out to my guy Jack Burton, man. Wasted. NFL media always finds a way to downplay us and our players. Oh, Wasted. Can I get a shout out to my little girl graduating the 8th grade and is now going to be a 9th grader? Yo, Jack, salute to baby girl, man. You know, congratulations. She's going to be a high schooler. You know, hopefully, you know, she's not going to the high. Maybe she can go to Barack or something like that. Hopefully she's not going to the high because I know you out there in the field. But look, man, let me tell you. So look, let's get back into it here, man. Now, the thing with DJ Glaze, man, is I think his development is really, 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 really going to take shape because of the other players on this offensive line right now. You know, Colt Miller and the Colt Miller contract is something that we really need to start paying attention to, right? Because, you know, the Raiders went out here and, you know, drafted tackles. You know, they drafted a tackle. They drafted another guy who played some tackle, some guard, right? But William & Mary's Charles Grant was taken 99th overall in his last draft. Now, he's a small school standout, you guys know. But Grant is accomplished, but he's raw, right? He needs some development. And, you know, some people are thinking that he could be the heir apparent for either one of these guys. Now, you know, being DJ Glaze in his second year, I would probably think that he'd be the heir apparent to Colt Miller, right? But some people thought that he would come in and kind of challenge Glaze for that right side. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't see it happening. I think that, you know, the thing that the Raiders need to do is sign Colt Miller up for a team-friendly deal. Keep Colt Miller around for another year or two, maybe 3. Have that little trap door. Allow Charles Grant to cook so the transition will be smoother because we really don't know what we have in Charles Grant at this point, right? But I think the key to this line taking that ascension is not having to locate the left tackle. You know, when you got guys like JPJ, DJ Glaze, Dylan Parham's a young player, right? If he's going to keep his start position, right? You don't want the whole left side of that line being a bunch of transplants or having to go out free agency or putting a rookie over there. You want this line to grow with each other. Now, Colton Miller is in a situation now that, you know, that most people would probably sit out from. And, you know, I'm a guy who was saying, look, you got to start moving on from Colton Miller and everything. But, man, let me tell you something. The leadership that Colton Miller is showing right now and the commitment that he's showing to the Raiders, being in a situation where he's out there, you know, pause if necessary. He's out there butt naked contractually, man. Anything can happen. That man has no guarantees left on his deal. And the fact that Colton Miller is out there leading in the way that he's doing shows me everything I know about how much of a leader he is and how important and how key he is to this team, man. You know, listen, you got Colton Miller that's up for an extension. You got Jacoby Meyer that's up for an extension. You got our long snapper, Jacob Bobermeyer, which I think is going to get taken care of, and Daniel Carlson. And I'd wait off on the Daniel Carlson situation because Daniel Carlson has kind of been riding the wave a little bit. He missed a couple of big kicks last year. Let's see if he starts regressing. Let's see. Shout out to everybody in the place, man. Eric Killmonger. Whoa now. Somebody putting another chip on Max's shoulder. Listen, that's all we need. I'm cool with that. Shout out to my guy, Low Life Rev, man. You didn't pull up late. You are right on time. And DeMarcus Webb with his filth talking about butt naked contract is nasty work. Get the F up out of here with your crap, DeMarcus Webb. You know what I meant.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
Man, get the F up out of here, DeMarcus. Your crap. You know what, man? Listen, you guys know I say this every day. This is a family show, and you guys keep forgetting it. But guys, what do y'all think, man? What do you guys think, man? If you're John Spytek, right? Say thank you, Salvador. Thank you. Yeah, at least somebody's listening out there. What do you guys think about the Raiders dragging this Colton Miller thing out? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, man. And shout out to my guy, Mo Moten. You know, Mo Moten wrote an article about the Raiders possibly screwing the pooch a little bit by not signing Colton Miller now. Because I'm going to tell you something. If he gets out to the open market and some of these young guys that you have on the roster don't work out the right way, right? Now it's different when the rabbit has the gun, right? I think the Raiders, based off of the fact that they know where his mindset is, he doesn't want to go and play for another team, right? He wants to be here. You can get Colton Miller at a hell of a deal at this point, and you can leave a trap door for that contract. I think John Spytek may be dropping the ball a little bit here, man. What do you guys think? I mean, listen, guys, if you guys think that Colton Miller should be signed right now, I need for y'all to do me a favor. Drop some ones in the chat. If you don't, drop some twos. I want to get a consensus of Raider Nation right now. We got over 200 in the room. Get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend on this Manic Monday. There's not a whole lot to talk about, but guess what? We got to start off the week right with content. That's right, man. Shout out to my guy, Jack Bird. He goes, Max is going to knock out 8 to 10 QBs. Mark it down. Wasted. Baby Jack, LOL, is out in Somerset. She good. That's what I'm talking about. That's good, man. Look, we got ones every damn where. SinCal 85 is in a place, man. The F you been, man. My God, DeMarcus Webb, one like your life depended on it, man. And my guy, Dan Tesser, is up in here being the anthropologist that he is. You know, I mean, old Leatherface himself, Dan Tesser. He goes, rabbits don't have opposable thumb. The F up out of here. Let me tell you something, man. You know, Tesser, have you ever watched Captain Bucky O'Hare? I mean, have you? I mean, have you watched little Bugs Bunny, Tesser? Let me tell you something. Bugs Bunny can shoot it out with the best of them. And that is the rabbit that we are referring to. Tesser, the F up out of here with your crap. My God, top beast. Spytek better not let his ego get the best of him by not getting Colton and Jacoby signed. Now, Top, this is the crazy thing, right? I think there's more value in signing a left tackle than signing Jacoby Meyer. I mean, if I'm being honest, right? Like, we went out in this draft and we drafted 2 young wide receivers who everybody keeps ranting and raving about, right? Wide receiver is one of those positions where you kind of know what you have very early on. You know, some wide receivers develop years and years after, but the 2 wide receivers that we have, I think they're going to develop I think they're going to develop pretty damn fast, right? So I'm gonna be real with you, man. I think Jacoby Myers, this might be his swan song for the Raiders. Now, there's nothing wrong with having 3 really good wide receivers. Don't get me wrong, right? But if Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Bech develop in the way that I think, I don't know if it would be advantageous. And then you got to understand something. One guy that has been the forgotten man on this roster is Trey Tucker. Trey Tucker, I'm going to be honest with you, is a guy that I see taking a tremendous leap with the quarterback that we have in Geno Smith. A tremendously. Yo, shout out to my guy George Cortinez, man. The get off my lawn gang general is in a place, man. Oh my God. I mean, one of the most luxurious beards on God's green earth. Yo, my God, Jack Burton, wasted. So do you like our wide receiver room right now? Like it is? Or would you sign a vet to take our offense? You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, Jack. I'm not big on free agent wide receivers, bro. Especially for the Raiders. Like, for me, I want to see how these guys ball. I do. I want to see the young guys. I want to see Tucker. I want to see Besh. I want to see these guys, and I want to see. Like, listen, if Jacoby has a similar year to what he had last year, it's like, damn, you know what I mean? Like, as a team, it's hard to let somebody that's playing at that level walk out the door, right? But if maybe this is a little Raider PTSD, you guys let me know, right? We have not had the best track record of signing free agent wide receivers. We haven't. We haven't. That's right, my man Top Beast. Your Wasted Talent Army. Support the show. Click that like button and subscribe to the show. I mean, look, there's a lot of people out there that are trying to kind of so that the Raiders should sign Terry McLaurin. You know, there are a lot of people that are saying that. Now, guys, look, Terry McLaurin is searching for some big money. Like, he has been a captain of the Washington Redskins, Commanders, Redskins, whatever. Listen, I'm gonna be real with you, man. They need to just. I think they're gonna go back and call the Redskins again. I really do, right? But you know, Terry McLaurin has skipped mandatory minicamp. You know, he's been beefing with the Commanders. You know, and McLaurin could be asking for something like $30 million per season with his new contract, right? Now, this is reported by Albert Breer and of the NFL Network, and that will put him in the top half and the top crust of wide receivers. And to me, right, I think Terry McLaurin is like the one that got away for me, because I know that the reason why Terry McLaurin got drafted by the Commanders had a lot to do with, because a lot of people had Terry McLaurin mocked to the Raiders, right? That was the pick that the Raiders gave away to get Antonio Clown. My bad. Antonio Brown. That was that pick right there. So the Raiders kind of dropped the ball with that in a sense, right? But I think this is one of those times when the organization has to be measured. I think this is one of those times where the organization has to be the adults in the room. Terry McLaurin is the shiny object. He is like the, you know, he's the luxury item, right? We're a team that is building towards something. And we have addressed this wide receiver room in the last few years in a real way, man. Look, if I'm being honest, I want to see what we got here. Because we might have a star in the building that is the equal of a Terry McLaurin on a rookie deal. And that's how you build championship teams, right? Championship teams are not built. Like, if the Raiders go out there and spend big money from a free agent perspective, right? For me, it would be another position of need, right? Like a left tackle, right? Like, say, for instance, there was a Trent Williams level left tackle deal made if you were going to move on from Colton Miller. That would be the move, right? Or a superstar 25, 26-year-old corner next year if things don't work out. Now, we know Jalen Ramsey is available, but I understand the ideology of trying to see what you have in Darian Porter. We're going to get into that because, and listen, if you guys haven't seen, you know, your brother Wasted, you know, had a short about that, a little short video about, you know, the Raiders not, you know, being in the market for Jalen Ramsey, right? And, and that's as per Vinny Bonsier of the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Shout out to Vinny B. Listen, I just don't feel like a Terry McLaurin kind of move is the kind of move the Raiders need to make. I think at this point, at this juncture, being that we have somebody coherent in the building, right, we could kind of trust the process in a sense. We could trust the process in a sense. I don't think that we need to build this team off of big ticket items, right? I think that the Raiders need to be steadfast and they need to be coherent in what they're doing from a free agent perspective and a draft perspective. Shout out to my guy, A. Spivey, gifting 5 Raider Nation Unlimited Wasted Talent memberships to the masses. Look, let me tell you something. That members only live is going to be crazy. It's going to be sick and silly. Sick and silly. Yo, my dog, I am no bueno with the daddy chill meme. It's hilarious. We should steal Terry McLaurin from the Commanders. I mean, we're not really stealing him. Like, if they don't pay him, he wants to be out of there. But are you willing to pay Terry McLaurin north of $30 million a year? I don't know if I am, bro. I don't think we need that. And I love Terry McLaurin. I think Terry McLaurin is one of the most talented receivers in his league. I don't think the Raiders need that at this point. This could be the ghost of Javon Walker. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. You got to go back for that. Y'all know nothing about that, man. And I need for y'all to thank the Kevin Nash and Shieldmore, A. Spivey, for gifting those memberships. And shout out to my guy, Low Life Rev. Appreciate you, my brother. Wasted, love the shows. Never get to comment, but you and Graf get me through my drives home. Thank you. Let's go, Raiders. Low Life Rev, man, that means everything to me, bro. I appreciate you, dog. Really do. That's what it's all about, man. Hearing stuff like that, bro. It really is, man. I really, really appreciate the love and the respect, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. My guy, Bill Gates. Waste, my brother. We have an unproven O-line, and Maxx can't stay healthy. Are you concerned? Games are one of the trenches. Now, bro, just because an offensive line is unproven, that means nothing to me. Do we have the horses in the stable to go out there and prove that they're worthy of the praise, right? I think they do, right? I don't think that, the guys that we have on this offensive line it's like some empty optimism there, right? It's not empty optimism. You have a young man in the Jackson Powers Johnson, just by him alone, right? How much of a difference having a top of the crust, top 3 or 4 player at the center position means in this league. Jackson Powers Johnson really takes this line to a whole nother level. And if you look at, what JPJ did last year on the second half of the year, shows you everything you need to know. Colton Miller has always been a guy that you could depend on. He is a top 12 guy in the league at his position. Colton Miller is not an issue for you. And you heard all the praise that is coming out about DJ Glaze. Dylan Parham is a guy that Pro Football Focus wise looks to be a good player, right? Gets pushed around a little too much for my liking. Hopefully he gets a little bit better. But I think him having a bully next to him is going to do all the help that he needs and get him exactly where he needs to be as a player, right? And then when you start talking about Kappa, you start talking about Caleb Rogers, you have a lot of different Thayer Munford. You have a lot of different options in the trenches, man. I think the trenches are not going to be a problem for us, right? And when you talk about Maxx Crosby being injury prone, right? Like I don't see how like you can say that Crosby's just an injury prone guy. You know what I'm saying? Like how can you just say that Maxx is like an injury prone guy? The guy, like, bro, like the guy has not missed a whole lot of time in his career, right? He really hasn't. Very, 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 very low chance of injury in his 6 years. He had the high ankle sprain, and then last year, he was kind of shut down. Was kind of shut down last year. But Maxx Crosby is far from being an injury-prone player, right? And if we want to, let's go through Max's injury history, right? Let's do that, man, for the sake of argument, right? This is a free-flowing show. This is a free-flowing show, man. I mean, shout out to everybody in the chat. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media, right? So, all right. Let's go through the Maxx Crosby injury history. 2023, he missed week 4, week 12, week 14, week 15 with a knee. 2020, that was 2023. 2024, missed week 3, week 4, week 5 with an ankle, and then last year, week 15, right? So Maxx, and I hope I'm right, but it's looking like Maxx has missed 8 games in his whole career. So I don't necessarily think that makes Maxx an injury-prone player, bro. I really think that you kind of missing the mark there a little bit. And my God, Top Beats with the $10 bomb. Here's the thing. If Koontz can get back to his 2023 year performance, we can have 2 of the best edge rushers in the league. I think our secondaries were suspect in the new scheme we're running. Yo, look, Top, and we're going to get to that, bro. Because I want to get more, and I'm going to kind of, wheel the train into the train tracks with this whole Jalen Ramsey thing and what you guys think about this. And I'll give you guys, my take on it. You know what I mean? And what I think the Raiders, are doing with the Jalen Ramsey thing. But definitely, Top, definitely, big dog. Appreciate you, brother, for supporting the channel, man, in a real way. My guy, Raider Prophet, Wasted. Love how you keep it real. Update us on the latest trade rumors. Update us on the players who have underachieved. Now, look, I'm going to update you on the Jalen Ramsey stuff, right? Now, when we start talking about, who is underachieved and this and that's something that, with OTAs, you're not really going to get that kind of information. I mean, OTAs is like, shells and stuff like that. Nobody's hitting. When the hitting starts, you're going to find out who's underachieving and who isn't. And that's what separates the men from the boys when it comes to the National Football League and football in general, right? When people start getting hit, it's all fun and games, right? Like Mike Tyson always said, the famous quote, everybody's got a plan until they start getting punched in the damn mouth. Right or wrong? Shout out to my guy, James, High Stakes Bowls. My guy, Angel Matos from the north side, Grafton Avenue zone. Hey, Wasted, hope all is well. Brick City is here listening to you dropping that. Oh, listen, I will never be dropping no dimes, bro. Hold up. Hold pause, God. Relax. We drop knowledge here, bro. We don't be dropping no dimes, bro. Nah, bro. Hold on. Hold on, God. Hold on, God. Hold on. The F up out of here with that, my guy Angel, man. You out here making me look bad, bro. The F is going on.
Tutorial this since you know what the fuck you doing.
And golly. My dog, Matos. Come on, bro. We don't do ours like that. We'll do ours like that, man. Oh, my God. Shout out to my dog. Yeah, but no, look. On the real, though, and I want to get back to this. I think the problem is with the nation, bro, is that we haven't seen some of this stuff. Oh, no, yeah, my bro. Hey, listen. Nah, not at all, Angel. Come on, brother. It's all jokes. It's funny. I appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Nah, bro, we just joking around, bro. But look, when you start talking about, the offensive line, ye of little faith, right? Like a lot of people want it all now. We got to let it come together, right? I I wanted to get in this. I was gonna save this for the members only show. I was gonna save this for the Graph and Wasted show, but we can get into it right now a little bit. The three biggest concerns as per Wasted Talent, right? And I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna do a long term like a 10-minute video on this. The three biggest concerns. Look, my three biggest concerns for the Raiders this year, and I know people are gonna be right in line with what I say. One of them, I don't think, and I think I'm gonna lose all y'all, and y'all gonna be screaming and yelling and arguing at me. The biggest concern is the secondary, hands down, right? Because you have so many young players, right? We are we're very hopeful with Porter and all of these guys, Cameron Richardson and all of these guys. We are very, very hopeful, right? But we don't know. That's the biggest question mark. And when I say secondary, I mean the cornerback room, right? Then when you start talking about what another concern is, I think a big concern for me, and I'm gonna be real with you, a big concern for me is depth. The Raiders have, great frontline talent, very, very good frontline talent, right? But we're kind of thin in some areas, right? Like in the running back room, right? What does that depth really look like, right? Can Raheem Mostert be that change of pace guy, that guy that can kind of support Ashton Jeanty, right? And can Ashton Jeanty kind of adapt to the fact that, he didn't play in a Power 5 school and stuff like that? Is that going to be a hindrance to him? Can he come out there and really ball, right? And the third biggest concern for me is Geno Smith. Now, I am very excited about Geno. I like Geno. I think he throws one of the best passes in the league. I mean, reminiscent of Warren Moon, right? But Geno Smith has had a propensity to turn the football over. And when you have a quarterback, and I know he was under duress a lot, but that is something that Geno has got to fix if we're going to be successful. We have to be a pro style play action kind of offense. This is what we need to be. Pro style play action offense. This is what we need. We need one of those teams that can run the ball, play action pass, throw the football downfield, take care of the football. Don't beat yourself. And look, when you start looking at Geno Smith, right, we get visions of sugar plums dancing in our head like it's Christmas, right? Because this is the best quarterback that has dawned our doors in the last few years since DC has walked out of the door, right? He gives us a real chance, right? And I think that this is going to be pretty much a completely balanced offense or a run first offense, right? And it all depends on how good Jeanty could be, right? But furthermore, when you talk about Geno, there are times where Geno has had, an issue in the red zone turning the ball over. He's had an issue. Has that issue been corrected? Has it been corrected? Like, I have to question that, right? I have to, because I like Geno, man. I'm not saying that I'm not coming to crap on Geno, but the thing is, he's not perfect, because if he was, he wouldn't have been available to us. You know, now people got Geno Smith ranked as the third quarterback in the AFC West. They got Bo Nix behind Geno Smith. So I guess, you know, they'll have to, you know, kind of see what Bo Nix can do. I mean, Geno Smith has had the kind of career where, you know, he's put it on paper. He's a vet. He's put it on paper, man. That you know, I mean, make no mistake about it. Geno Smith has put it on paper. Now, when you start looking at where they have Geno ranked, you know, his 2024 stats was 70% completion percentage of 4,320 yards, 21 touchdowns, but the 15 interceptions is where, you know, that raises a flag for me, right? Raise a little flag for me, right? Now, Smith last year, and this is the reason why they have him ranked third, outperformed Bo Nix in several metrics, right? His PFF grade, you know, his completion percentage, stuff like that, right? He ranked 6th and tied for 13th across the league, right? In BTT and BTT rate, right? He needs to cut down on the turnovers, though, right? He racked up 18. He was tied with Jameis Winston with the 6th most in the National Football League. That is never a good thing. And that is one of the reasons why when you start getting excited about this Raider team and making it to the playoffs, that's the biggest metric there. That is the biggest metric. Can Geno Smith not turn the damn football over? That is huge, man. And pause if effing necessary. I don't give a damn if you guys want to try to come in here with your crap and try to throw me under the bus. Your effing bums up in here. Shout out to my guy Top Beats, man. Single-handedly keeping the lights on here at Raider Nation Unlimited. So my biggest fear is Geno turning the ball over, and then Raider fans start screaming about why didn't we draft Sanders by Spytech when we could have had him. Now, look, bro. The thing is, Top, I wanted us to draft Shedeur too, right? But Shedeur Sanders brings his own set of problems, right? So with a coach like Pete Carroll, he's not worried about Deion taking his job. But I think there's a piece of that where, you know, if you're a young coach or you're a coach, like say, for instance, a guy like Brian DeBall. If you're a coach like Brian DeBall, right? Brian DeBall can't have Shedeur Sanders in New York sitting behind whomever he has, because if Shedeur's sitting there, they're going to be calling for him, right? And then if things aren't kind of working out and the ball's getting on his case or it's an ebb and a flow there, then now the next call will be for his father to be his head coach, right? So if you're a coach that's not strong in your spot, right? If you're a GM that is kind of in flux, because Joe Schoen and Brian DeBall, we're talking about the Giants now, Deion Sanders comes in, that means both of you could get fired. So I can see why they didn't do it. For the Raiders, listen, Pete Carroll's an older guy. Pete Carroll's 73 years old. He knows Geno Smith. He don't got to figure him out. That's huge for Pete Carroll turning this situation around. I think that the metric for Pete Carroll in his mind is winning the Super Bowl, but I think the metric for the brass of the Raiders is him turning this into a perennial winner. And I think that Pete won't be long for the Raiders, but I think when he leaves the Raiders will be a team that is perennially in the playoffs. Maybe he might win a chip, right? Maybe he might. But I think the one thing Pete's going to bring is stability, right? I think that's what Brady brings. I think what Spytech brings, right? So for Pete to get there, he needs somebody he knows, that he trusts, that, you know, and it makes things better for a guy like Chip Kelly, because Chip Kelly just left a national championship team with the Iowa State Buckeyes, right? I think he's learned from his time in the National Football League, his time in college. I think Chip Kelly, the stuff he used to call before is totally different. I think he's more of a balanced play caller, and I think he's a better play caller now, right? But the one thing that Chip Kelly doesn't have to worry about having a Geno Smith under center is a kid that has to figure it out. Does he know what's going on? Can he grasp the concept of my offense? I don't think that's a problem with a veteran and a pro like Geno. So I think there are other things that Gino brought to the table for this particular team, which they had paramount. You know, so look, would I have likened the Raiders to get a guy who was mocked to go in the first 5 picks in the 4th round? You damn right. 100% top. But I get the ideology by not doing it, right? And the one thing that raises an eyebrow for me is that Tom Brady wasn't banging the table for Shador, right? But he said he had nothing to do with it. And I don't like that, right? So own it. Own what you do, Tom, because you're hearing reports about Tom Brady being the reason why the Raiders didn't bring in Sam Darnold. You're hearing reports of Tom Brady being the one who supported the Raiders going out there and getting Cam Miller and him really liking Cam Miller, right? So then why would his opinion not matter about Shador? Now, I don't really like talking about Shador because Shador is a Brown, right? And he might, who knows if he's going to continue to grow and blossom. He's going to make that team, you know, speed and stuff. I don't know. It all depends on who does what in this league and the media, right? It all depends. They're looking for a chink in the armor for the Sanders boys. So him speeding, being a young man, driving recklessly with a $100,000 sports car, it happens. There's been times I've been in my car. You know, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. My car, it sneak up on you. Sometimes you there just driving and you look up and you're doing 90 and you're not even trying. You know, some of these cars are that way. When you have a high-end car or a nicer car, that happens, man. But when it comes to the Raiders not bringing Shador, I'm sure that Brady probably was one who probably was not in favor of that. He had to be, because him being his mentor and him knowing him the way he does, I can't see him not banging the table for a kid that he believed in. You know? And listen, Tom Brady, if he's nothing else, he knows how to play the game, right? He knows how to play the media game. He knows how to play the media game. We're talking about him because I effing want to, Adam, and because it brings a point. Now, I normally don't respond to crap like this, but you don't come in here and tell wasted talent how to run this effing show, Adam. If you don't like the fact that I'm talking about Shador Sanders, you get the F on. The F is wrong.
That's a tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
Golly, can I host my show? Yeah, and Anthony, how you doing, Anthony? I haven't blocked you in a couple of days. I think it's about that time for you to get blocked again. Nah, I'm messing with you, bro. I'm messing with you, Adam. Look, at the end of the day, guys, when you start talking about, and my whole point with bringing Shador and Geno, when you start talking about the Geno Smith thing, I get why Pete Carroll did that. I understand it. Do I totally agree? No, but I'm not the one that's making these decisions. I get it. I think bringing a kid like that in or drafting a highly touted guy kind of takes away from Geno coming in and galvanizing this team. I think Geno needs a season in silver and black to play at a high level for the Raiders to bring in a kid that is kind of thought of well to develop. I think this leaves the options open for the Raiders. And I think Geno can be their starter for the foreseeable future for 3 to 4 years, right? So I believe Geno Smith coming in here and playing well affords him the luxury of keeping his starting job, no one calling for his head, right? And us bringing in, or maybe moving up in the second round or in the late first, and keeping a heir apparent on the bench. Liken this to the Kansas City Chief, Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes handoff. Liken it to that kind of a deal. And I think that Geno has a little bit more tread on the tire than Alex Smith did at that point, if I'm being honest. Salute to the chat, yo. My guy Raider Profit with the $2 slap-a-rooney. Are your concerns due to slot cornerback or outside cornerback? It's both. It's both. Because listen, Jacorian Bennett, the idea of Darian Porter and Jacorian Bennett and Cameron Richardson is the best case scenario, right? But what are the odds all three of those guys take that leap forward and be startable players? Now, if I have any hope for those guys, the hope that I have for those guys is not really tied up into them. The hope that I have for those gentlemen is really tied up into Pete Carroll. Because if you look at Pete Carroll's history, right, you have a situation like a guy like Sherm in 2011 who was a rookie. Sherm had like 45 tackles. He had like 4 interceptions. He had like 17 pass breakups. I could be wrong. I'm rattling this off from earlier. But Sherm was a dog from his rookie season from the development of Pete Carroll, right? Then we go to Tariq Woolen. Tariq Woolen played absolutely freaking phenomenal for the Seattle Seahawks, right? So when I see Darian Porter, right, I have faith. Now, look, there's some lofty expectations to think that he's going to turn into Tariq Woolen, right? Because Tariq Woolen had one of the banner years for a rookie corner, right? He had 46 tackles, 17 assists, 3 fumble recoveries, 6 interceptions in 17 games in his rookie season. Was selected to his first Pro Bowl as a rookie. That was Tariq Woolen's rookie season, right? So when you look at a Darian Porter, right, he's damn near the same size, and has all the physical ability and was a wide receiver, right? So when you look at Porter, if he can ingest what's going on from a mental standpoint, from a physical standpoint, you're good to go there. You're good to go. And then Jacorian Bennett being injured last year and being injured. If you get a full offseason with Jacorian Bennett, what do you have there? So I understand the ideology by not going out and signing Jalen Ramsey. And that brings us to, the Jalen Ramsey situation. Now, Jalen Ramsey, man, is out there. There's a lot of people that says that he wants to, be on the West Coast. Las Vegas is not exactly the West Coast, but it's close enough, right? And the problem is the Dolphins are having a problem to find somebody to pay the complete freight for Jalen Ramsey, right? Now, the Steelers listened to the Jalen Ramsey trade. I don't think that they're in. I think they're out. And there's a report by, Vinny B, that the Raiders are out. Now, listen, I know a lot of you guys will say, oh, man, Vinny. Listen, let me tell you something. Vinny is right more than he's wrong, right? And I'm going to read this article to you guys, man. Now, this was posted by Austin C. Boyd at Athlon Sports, right? And also, Vincent Bonsignere from the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Shout out to Vinny B. But he was asked if the Raiders will trade for Jalen Ramsey, right? And he said this: Ramsey is not on the Raiders' radar. He wrote this. He said Mike Hilton could be someone to look at, but Ramsey, is not on the Raiders' radar. Now, look, we all know that Jalen Ramsey would be a humongous upgrade. It would seem like the kind of player that Pete Carroll would fancy, right? And we went into this a little earlier, right? But if you look at some of the guys that Pete Carroll has brought in, man, let's look at some of the guys from the famous Legion of Boom, right? Sherm, 6'3", 32-inch arms. Brandon Browner, 6'3 and a half, 32 and 3/4-inch arms. Byron Maxwell, 6'1", 33.5-inch arms, right? Shaquille Griffiths, 6 foot, 32.5-inch arms, right? Akilo Witherspoon, 6'3", 33.5-inch arms, right? And Tariq Woolen, another 6'3 guy. So that is Pete Carroll's kind of Mendoza line when you start talking about, players of a certain size playing in his secondary, right? And Jalen Ramsey has all the skills. I feel like that's the one unit who doesn't have that kind of slam dunk veteran kind of presence. That's one of the groups, right? So look, and that's no disrespect to Lonnie Johnson and Eric Stokes. There's no disrespect, but I'm talking about a guy who's produced at a high level. And I think Eric Stokes is primed to kind of take off. I think Eric Stokes is a guy who is very, very underrated too. There's a guy that we haven't brought up. And I think this Raiders secondary will be good, man. I think we'll be all right. I think Patrick Graham, this will be one of the best assortment of defensive backs he's had since he's been a defensive coordinator. I'll be honest with you. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Get wasted with your brother Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. How you guys enjoying the show? We're almost at an hour. How are you guys enjoying the show right now? Salute to everybody in the chat. Matty Marinovich. Business in the front, party in the back. Shador already has a spotlight on him. These speeding tickets are making more of a distraction than necessary. Look, you know the cool thing about this, Matt, and I want to put a pin in all this Shador stuff. We ain't got to worry about it. He's not a Raider. We ain't got to worry about it, bro. We do not have to worry about no damn Shador Sanders because he ain't a Raider. My brother Top Beats, reigning 10 Raider Nation Unlimited memberships on the masses. Yo, Top, man, I appreciate you, bro. You were keeping the lights on over here. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. And guys, let that be a lesson to you. Top Beats is out here getting ready to rev some of you guys up for that freaking members only show. You're going to get some uncut and raw, informative news. And I know that sounds a little spooky. Uncut and raw. But at the end of the day, guys, look, man. So when we start talking about, the Jalen Ramsey move, I'm going to be honest with you. I think there are two reasons why the Raiders are going to stay away from that. I think, one, the fact that the Dolphins might not be able to pick up enough of the freight. Two, the fact that the Raiders already have money tied up into a veteran free agent signing from the Miami Dolphins, which is Christian Wilkins, and that's looking like that could crash and burn, right? And also, when you start looking at cap penalties, stuff like that, trading away draft capital, to me, I think that I get why the Raiders are doing that. The one thing that I don't understand is why the Raiders have not gone out there and gotten a veteran nickel. I think they need it. Everybody thank Top Beats for outfitting you guys with Raider Nation Unlimited memberships, man. I appreciate my brother Top, and you guys got to appreciate that man too, man. He is a gentleman and a scholar, man. The Wasted Talent Army is in full effect, my guy CJ, and that's right, man. Subscribe. Be eligible for a membership. Go on up there and go grab a few. And guys, I need you guys to hit that subscribe button too, man. We got to get into the algorithm a little differently, man. Listen, if the first thing that you see when you go on YouTube, if you want to see Raider content, you support the channel and you're watching and you haven't hit the subscribe button, it matters. Hit that subscribe button, man. I can't ask you guys anymore. I know I ask a lot of you, but y'all hit that subscribe button. So let's get into it, right? So Vinny B has said that the Raiders are out. Now, I tend to agree, right? I tend to agree. And to be honest with you, I think the Mike Hilton situation, that might be something that'd be more advantageous to the Raiders, man. You're damn right, man. Top and Hug D's, always helping these brothers out. I appreciate y'all. And yo, listen, they definitely do, man. The great, that's why we call them the Mod Fathers, man. That might be the comment of the day. Saluting Top and Hug D's, man. Oh, I gotta let you cook, Bobby. Definitely gotta let him cook. So, guys, look. We got that. We got some other things, right? We got some other things we're going to get into, man. Now, I gotta ask y'all something, man. And this is another person or another concern I have about the Raiders, right? And I know you guys are gonna laugh. And this is the one that's gonna get you guys to come unglued to kind of end the show up, right? Another concern that I have is Patrick Graham. How good is Patrick Graham really? How good is he really of a defensive coordinator? We just kind of give him praise, but Patrick Graham has been a hit or miss kind of a proposition, bro. I'm just asking you guys, how good of a defensive coordinator do you guys think Patrick Graham is? And does he worry you a little bit? I mean, does Patrick Graham have what it takes to lead this unit and to make it an elite unit? Like we got some veteran linebackers like Devin White, 27 years old, young guy. Everybody acts like he's an old guy and he's washed. So this is a guy who has a lot of tread left on the tire, right? Landon Roberts, you know. I mean, listen, man, we got some guys, man. Now they say that Patrick Graham does a good job putting people in positions to make plays and, you know, all of this stuff, right? Now, Pete Carroll is a defensive-minded coach, and I know that Pete Carroll, if anything, will kind of steer him in the right direction, right? But is Patrick Graham somebody that you guys are concerned about? Is he somebody that you guys are concerned about? Graham is there for consistency. He is implementing Pete's system. I believe he does. And with Pete in the building, he can only learn more. PG has the players' confidence and trust. I mean, yeah. Yeah, but the thing is that we've been hearing about the Black Picasso. We've been hearing about how great Patrick Graham is. And Patrick Graham had 1 year where he was phenomenal as a defensive coordinator. But if I'm being honest, I'm concerned. Now, I know Pete can, you know, pull a plug and you know, kind of steer him in the direction that he wants him to go. But that still does not mean that I'm not a bit concerned about that. My God, Top Beast. I think he's better than Gus Bradley. With Pete helping out, I think we cannot improve. But it's PG. Wait. With Gus Bradley, Pete helping out, I think we cannot improve, but it's not PG. It's actually moving to the cover 3 scheme. See, the thing is, I don't know, right? Because are they going to just go to primarily cover 3? Are they going to go to that fence post defense? Especially with this personnel? You know what I mean? Like, Pete is the head coach. Like, is Pete going to be the one to have total autonomy of what they run from a scheme perspective? I don't know, man. Yeah, my bad, Top. I kind of figured that, bro. But my thing, the cover 3, I don't necessarily know if, because, you know, Patrick Graham runs so many different schemes and iterations of defense that I don't know if the cover 3 is going to be our base. Now, it is looking based off of some of the personnel that we have that it is going to be the cover 3, right? But I don't know, you know, because it's not like Patrick Graham is some young defensive coordinator. He's a well-traveled guy, well-respected guy. Probably his next move will be his best move, and he will be smooth being a head coach, right? So is Patrick Graham just under the thumb of Pete like that? Canetown Raiders in the place, man. Snooted-footed mother. Get the F up out of here with your crap, Canetown. Effing Canetown. Guy pulls up in here, man. Ain't seen this guy, heard from this guy in a month of Sundays. This is my dog playing the Raiders on. And he can't call nobody, don't talk to nobody. Man, it's crazy how crazy this guy is.
God! Wow!
Just crazy. My God. RNJ Podcast, man. My guy in the place, man. Salute Wasted. In regards to Graham and the defense, turnover and Getty had defense working double time. They were getting stops, but the offense was sus. Yes. You damn right, Lame Town. This guy don't call, don't write. Unbelievable. Yo, it's salute to my guy Jason, man. But yeah, no, and that's a piece of it too, right? The ball control. I think that, you know, this would be the time if you have a healthy Maxx Crosby, a healthy Malcolm Kuntz, a healthy Tyree Wilson. I think that if you were ever going to see a dominant Patrick Graham as a play caller, as a defensive coordinator, it will be this year. My guy, OG Raider. In my opinion, PG doesn't know how to adjust the play of to the play of the offense that the Raiders play against. Yo, I mean, there are some people like Steve Spagnuolo, right? Spag's the kind of defensive coordinator, he'll mix it up with you and give it to you however he needs to. He's going to play and call a game in the style of defense that he needs to based off of what the offense is doing, right? I kind of feel like there's a bit of Patrick Graham that kind of just does what he does no matter what. Like there have been times where he doesn't make adjustments when the Raiders are just getting gashed on the football field, just getting gashed, ran all over, and then leaving the middle of the football field is a situation as well, bro. So I tend to agree with that. My guy Top. More importantly, the question should be, how well will PG and Pete Carroll work together in managing the defense? I think that's the real question. I mean, Top, I'm going to be real with you. With Patrick Graham, yo, this would be your third head coach, right? So if you don't work well with Pete Carroll has the power to fire you. You don't have the power to fire him. So you better work well with him. I don't even think that's even a question, right? Like if you don't work well with him, you ain't going to be here, right? Straight up like that. I'm sure Pete Carroll has many people in his coaching lineage that he can have fulfill that position. Shout out to Lame Town Raider, mattress back bastard. You, Cane Town goes. I tried to call, man. You were probably in the shower or Bing or something. You talking about bingo? Man, get the F up out of here. Trying to say I'm old or something. I mean, man, Simon Mudstomp, the F up out of here with your crap. Just disrespected me. The F up out of here, Cane Town, with your crap. Effing nonsense. Snooted footed mother. Lame Town Raider. I mean, you better be glad. You better be effing glad my soundboard's not working. Shout out to my dog Cane Town, man. Salute, brother. Salute, man. Hold on. Cane Town's in the building. Bum. The F up out of it. That's right, Top. Somebody might need to get blocked. Said a Timu soundboard. Get the F up out of here. Anthony. Yo, PG is sus. Is a sus DC, guys. Guy sold us on the Rams game. Also almost sold us when AP had to use a timeout because PG had the players play, man, on the field in the final. What the F are you talking about? Yo, DeMokes, listen. DeMokes, let me tell you something, man. Go in there, Google Hooked on Phonics. Get your comments together. Get yourself together, DeMokes. Get yourself together before you get effing blocked. Blocked. Effing bum. Get yourself together here. Unceremoniously, he might add. Effing DeMokes. You go to the gulags with all your incoherent typing. Yes. DeMokes. That's right. Thank you, Top Beats. Get it together. It's crap. So, guys, look. Let's get into the last section of the show here, right? We've gone an hour and 10 minutes. I think this has been a great show, informative, great. Look, then don't you be super chatting and don't you be super chatting and driving, Demokes. What the F is wrong with you, man? And Raider Reaper, I'm gonna be 100% real with you, bro. I want to put your comment up, but yo, you're out here with your chest out. You know, I can't have any of this filth on my show. It's a family show. Go put an effing shirt on, kid. Raider Reaper. The F is wrong with you? You've always had the really cool avatars. Now you're out here trying to act like you're some Tiger Beat heartthrob or something. What the F is wrong with you? You get blocked for that crap. Go put an effing shirt on. What's wrong with you? My God. Wait, Raider Valley. He goes, I'm from LA. I'm 50 years old. Been a Raider fan my entire life. I know I've been saying this is 1987 when they were the LA Raiders, but the Raiders are going to win the Super Bowl. He's been saying this since 1987. I think the Raiders will too, bro. Raider Reaper said, I've been putting it in the gym, bro. Yeah, that's good, man. Yo, put in the work, bro. Salute. Get as yoked as you possibly can, but you will never, ever be on this show with that damn avatar. You put an effing shirt on, young fella. That F is wrong with you, man.
That's a tutorial that says you know what the fuck you doing.
Golly. Oh, man. Shout out to my guy, Kitty Clark in the place. Yeah, I mean, what the F you think? Listen, that's right. Listen, man, this is not OLV right now. Or the Members Only show. Shout out to y'all. Yo, make sure y'all go support our guy, Hug D's too, man. 208 Custom Designs. Get all your design needs handled over there. Hug D's and is a guy that is near and dear to my heart. But I'm telling you, man, we're not telling you to support them, not just because that's our guy, but because he's damn good at what he does. Him and his wife, man, they got it clicking over there. Listen, we want to see that business go through the roof and take off. Yeah, I'm not Raider Reaper. Listen, I will refund you that $2. I am not putting it up. Everyone look at me. Get the F up out of here with your crap. I am not putting it up. This man got his damn chesticles out. The F is wrong with you. It's crazy work up in here. I mean, what the F is up in here, man? But, man, you know what's crazy? We got to have our wasted word of the day. The wasted word of the day is egregious. Egregious. And the definition for that is outstandingly. Not outstandingly, but egregious. Outstandingly bad. Shocking. Egregious is the wasted word of the day. And I'm going to be honest with you. You know what's egregiously bad? Raider Reaper coming up in here trying to act like a damn trollop. It's egregious. That F up out of here. Hey, Shabato, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Egregious, the wasted word of the day. K-Town, I'm going to come back. And now K-Town, listen, you will definitely be put in the gulags. If you come in here with your thick-framed ass acting like you've been putting any work in the gym. The only thing you've been putting in work at is at the plate. You better get the F up out of here, K-Town Raider. You are not going to be taking our guy Raider Reaper's freaking all his hard work, Kane Town. Get your thick framed ass up out of here. McLuffy's in the place, man. Much love. Miss everyone in here. McLuffy, look, man, we miss you too, my brother. We miss you too, brother. Listen, don't be a stranger up in here with your crap. Man, but yo, we going into the most critical quarter of the Raiders offseason, man. This right here, man, training camp, getting through a healthy, the Raiders are going to be doing some inter squad scrimmages, which I'm surprised because Pete Carroll said that's not something that he wants to do or he likes to do. I think they're going to be doing some inter squad games with the Niners, which is going to be interesting. But man, this is a very, very important time for the Raiders, guys. Buckle up. Stay tuned. We will be bringing you guys all the news all the time. Shout out to my daughter. My daughter will be graduating from high school tomorrow, right? Very, very excited. And then she will be heading down to the A. She will be going to Spelman College, the #1 historically Black university in the country. My daughter will be a Spelmanite. That is something that I am super proud of. And I keep bragging to everybody, and my baby girl got to Spelman. I'm going to be honest with you. This year, man, this is the reason why I'm bragging so much, man. I have to dad brag. I'm sorry. But this year, between 2007 and 2006, was one of the main years. I think there are more graduating seniors and kids in high school that are graduating and applying for college than no year in here. This the most graduating seniors in the history of this country. My daughter is one of 11,000 girls that apply for Spelman, and she got in and she got scholarship money too. So let me tell you something, bro. This has been an amazing year for my family, and this has been an amazing year for my baby girl. And I don't give a damn. I am going to dad brag my ass off. Sorry. Did you wait, K-Town, did you ask New News parents before sending her to Spelman? They might not have. What you talking about? I don't even know what that means. Get the F up out of here. Bodega Wasted is in here dropping through just to get blocked. Just dropping by to say, W Dad, go Thunder. Look, I'm glad. And Bodega Wasted, if you do not take that picture of me and Deep Thought down, I will be blocking you and sending you to the gulags every time you pull up. Effing bum. 916 rated. Just jumped on, but can't argue with math being outside of the top 5. You got to get home to be on top. I mean, that's what she said. Hi-yo! Hold on. Hi-yo! That's what she said. I might have seen ATL like twice, man. I don't remember. Like, that's not like something that stood out to me. I'm old. Bang Zoom. Bang Zoom, David Walker. Bang Zoom. We got to do it again. Bang effing Zoom. My God, top beast. Yo, Raider Nation, click that button. Congratulations to Wace's daughter who got accepted to Spelman College. 2025 Raider Nation, we are on the come up. So subscribe to the show. Let's go. Bodega Wasted pictures better than mine. You damn right. That is a goated pick. The F up out of here. Well, guys, man. Look, my guy, hold on. Congrats to you and your daughter, Wasted. You deserve to brag, my G, for one dad to another. Appreciate you, man. My guy, A. Spivey. Congrats from a long-time college professor. Do great things, Wasted's daughter. Your papa is very proud. Appreciate it. Spivey. See, I knew. Because Spivey is a genius, bro. He says some very, very genius. I knew he was a college professor. He says some things that goes over a lot of y'all head, man. Shout out to the Kevin Nash and Shieldmore. So, guys, Oh, yeah. Yeah, my girls are big-time Raider fans. Big-time Raider fans. My brother's an Eagle fan, unfortunately, you know. But, yeah, man. But, look, man, guys, I think it's time to wheel the train into the train station. We're going to get out of here, guys. Salute to everybody who pulled up. It is 8:36. It is a sweltering night out there. I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself, man. This has been a most splendiferous occasion. Bodega Wasted is going to be first in line in the gulags. And pillaging just for fun. My girls don't play no games. You know, it's funny. My youngest daughter right now has Raider sweatpants on and a Raider shirt right now. Now, my girls are true to this, man. Bodega Wasted, listen. 330 seconds in the gulags next show. That's it. Enough of this. But guys, look, McLuffy, please run it back, man. Thank you, guys. Appreciate every single one of you guys for pulling up, man. Yo, man, look, it's not a lot of news right now, but we're gonna keep rocking and rolling, y'all. We're gonna keep rocking and rolling. We're gonna keep putting that content out there, y'all. Y'all, listen, man. Have a terrific night. We will be rocking and rolling tomorrow. I will be at my daughter's graduation, so I'm going to be out of commission. It's going to be hot all week, but we will be bringing you guys shorts. The members only show will probably be Wednesday or Thursday, and we're going to have, and I'm going to try to get you guys a special guest for the members only show. So stay tuned, guys. You guys have a great night. Shout out to Raider Nation. Much love, love every single one of you guys. Everybody who made a comment, who had a like, who hit that thumbs up, you know, who just supports this medium, you know, sent the super. Shout out to Top Beats, the Mod Father, man. Shout out to Raider Prophet, man. Shout out to Pillaging just for fun, man. Anthony says, boo the member show. Then become a member, you bum. The F up out of here. Become a member, Anthony. I mean, my God. And salute to my God. Thank you for all the coming, subscribing to the show, becoming a member. We will see you soon. Raider Nation is full effect. Shout out to my brother. And that's right. And yo, Bodega Way said, go Thunder. Yes, I am so glad that Tyrese Halliburton does not have a ring. F him. You know, salute to him. It sucks that he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that they didn't win a ring. Raider Valley's in the place, man. Y'all have a freaking terrific night, man. We are out of here. And you guys know, you know, and I really don't want to do this because this guy has been disappointing me lately, but
yesterday's price is not today's price.
I hope the Raiders think as highly of themselves as Jim Jones, the washed up rapper, does. Y'all have a freaking terrific night, man. We are freaking out of here, man. Peace.
Thank you.